I am so excited to remodel this horrible bedroom. This is what it looked like before. There were these nasty yellowed wall panels and just kind of a lot of chipping paint. All the doors are tiny for some reason. I had to keep those the same, but that's okay. I didn't decorate the room because it's hard to want to decorate a room that looks like this. So after I gave my bed away to someone who needed it, I decided since the room is empty, we're just going to remodel the whole thing. And like all projects, the first step is demolition. Once I got the furniture out, I decided to remove the flooring, and since it was in okay condition, I thought I could give it away for free. It was just really dusty, but most of it was intact. And this tongue and groove flooring, this was like a cheap laminate flooring. It rips up pretty easily. And so once I got it all out, I put an ad on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody came and picked it all up. I've found that much of the time people will take things if it's in okay condition, which made me feel good because I don't like throwing away something that people can use. Once I got the floor ripped out, I got a better idea of what was underneath, including these big holes. See, there are certain parts of the floor that were rotten that were going to require repairs. So it was a little frightening walking around in here after I got all the flooring ripped out. The next step was tearing out all this horrible wall paneling. I absolutely hate it. I've been staring at it for the last 4 years. And some parts ripped out a little bit more easily than others, but it was like really hammered in there and kind of hard to get off. Now I ended up leaving the baseboard on and just ripping out only the wall panels because the baseboard was salvageable, and every time I tried to rip it out, I damaged the plaster. So there was plaster underneath all of these wall panels, and I was kind of reluctant to rip out any of the plaster. If it's intact, I'd rather just leave it intact. Unfortunately, these weren't salvageable, which means I had to just throw them away or burn them, which I know you're not supposed to burn these, but there was so much to get rid of. So once I got the wall panels off, I was able to assess the damage with the plaster, because if it's intact, I just can't be bothered ripping it out. And there was only one wall that had some water damage that I had to rip it out, which needed to be drywalled. So I went through, I got it all cleaned up, and the next step is to repair the flooring. My friend came over and he secured the floor to make it safe by installing these slats underneath the basement, and then we got subfloor to go over the top of everything. So it was finally safe to walk on. And we were going to install the ceiling fan, but then he noticed that the wiring was really bizarre. There was like an extra wire that wasn't a ground wire, so I had my electrician friend come check it all out, and he determined that it was safe, just really strange. The biggest part of this project was plastering all the walls. So as you can see, when it's completely stripped down, there was one wall that needed drywall, and all the others were perfectly intact. So my good friend came, he put up some drywall on that one wall that needed it, and then for all of the other walls, he went about patching and repairing any of the cracks. And this is a long, kind of time-consuming process because if you know anything about plaster, it's kind of messy to work with. Some people prefer to just rip it all out, but I honestly couldn't be bothered. So he went through, smoothed it all out, and then he had to add a layer of plaster, and then another layer of plaster, and then smooth that out, and then another layer of plaster. And slowly but surely, my room began to transform into what looks like an actual bedroom. So it's a messy process, but thank goodness for my good friend Biff. He's a pro, and he got it done. I think it took him a couple of weeks to get enough layers and get it smoothed out enough that it would be paintable. And while he was working on that, I was getting the furniture together. So I have this old bed frame. It's kind of a sentimental piece because it came from my grandparents' house, and I think it's the first bed frame that my parents used. So I decided to paint it. I didn't do a very good job painting it, mind you, but that's okay. I figured most of it will be hidden by my new bedding. After all the layers of plaster were officially dried, the time came for the room to be painted, and I was so excited because I've got this beautiful, like very light shade of blue that I knew would be absolutely perfect on the walls, and I have another good friend who's a professional painter. In the past, I used to do this sort of thing myself, but I realized that I am not a professional, and every time I've done a paint job myself, it just hasn't turned out very good. So I hired my friend, and she went in and painted all the trim and the doors white and the walls that beautiful light blue, and it just looks so much better than it used to. Look at my almost finished room. All I have to do now is install the flooring and put in the ceiling fan. It's so echoey in here when there's no furniture, but my lovely friend did such a good job painting, and I am just so stoked about it. So I bought these because online it said rose gold. This does not look like rose gold to me. It said it on the package too. So I really like rose gold. But everything else in the room is going to be kind of gold themed. So I have these horrible doorknobs, which I think I can salvage if I just clean them up. I might even paint them again, or I'll at least paint this one because I want it to be gold. But let me show you the other decor. So I wanted them to be like this color, but they're clearly not, so I'm probably just gonna go with the gold. But I've got a gold threshold. Here's my flooring that I'm gonna install. I painted my bed frame white. I have all my bedding I've got a certain color scheme going here. Like, I wanted kind of a light pink. Look at this. Isn't it cute? But everything's gold. So this came out of my grandma's house. And then I've got this beautiful picture of Marilyn Monroe. The frame is gold. And look at her outfit. Does it not totally match the color scheme that I'm going for? Like, look at this. I'm just so excited about that. Now, I probably could have installed this flooring myself, but I want it done right and I want it to look good. It's really not that hard to install and the pieces are easy to cut. But I've got a good friend and he came out and he got it done in no time because the room was small and these pieces kind of fit perfectly. So I got that gold threshold to go with the rest of the gold theme in the room. And just look at this finished result. I think it looks so good. I'm really happy with how my bedroom has come together. Once the floors were in, my contractor installed the ceiling fan. My wonderful partner assembled all of the furniture for me. He enjoys doing it and I really don't. I have this beautiful gold corner shelf. And I got this super cool narrow nightstand, which came in like a zillion pieces, but it was absolutely worth it because it fits in my tiny bedroom. It's got space, it's got drawers, and it's got built-in LED lights. I got my bed assembled with the help of my contractor, and once we got my nightstand and my gold shelf in place, it was time to finally start decorating the bedroom. I was going for a minimal look in the bedroom and having minimal items on the wall, but I'm a little bit worried that it might be almost too minimal. Anyways, let me know what you think whenever I show you the finished result at the end. So I bought some string lights to put up in my room because deep down I am a 15-year-old girl. Actually, I really love string lights and any kind of fun lighting. So I wanted the wall behind my bed to be only the string lights. And I love it. I think it looks absolutely perfect. And then the last thing I was waiting on was my bed. So this is my first bed that's just mine. My wonderful partner helped assemble the bed frame. I've never had my very own bed, and I did a lot of research, and after doing a lot of reading, I decided to go with the Zinus. So we got the bed frame down, and thank goodness it fit perfectly on the frame that I got from my grandparents' house. And then we unrolled the mattress, and it was under pressure, so we had to unroll it very carefully. So then I let the bed air out just a couple of days, and I also ordered a mattress topper, and now this is my finished bedroom. It looks so different from how it looked before. I just love this paint color, and my friend did such a good job painting it. So there's my small little nightstand. It's got this cool built-in LED light. And there's my twinkling lights. Isn't that neat? I love it so much. I love any kind of fun lighting. And then I went for a minimal look on the walls, but again, I'm a little worried it might be too minimal. What do you think? So I've got just one picture there, and on this side I decided to hang a bunch of mirrors because I thought they would look nice reflecting the twinkling lights, and I like them, but I could always change the decor a little bit, but there's not much I can do about the furnishing because the space is so small. I got everything cleaned up. I've got this tiny closet, but you know what? It's just big enough to hold all of my clothes, and I even got a little dresser to fit inside of there because I was keeping my clothes in a dresser in the living room before, so I don't have to do that anymore. I love this finished bedroom so much. It's so cozy. I feel like I'm sleeping on a puffy pink cloud. And just look at these before and after shots. As always, a big thank you to my wonderful friends that helped me. I love my new room so much. Thanks for watching.